Have you ever felt a strange heaviness that you can't explain? You wake up tired, even after 8 hours of sleep. Your thoughts feel clouded. Your confidence starts fading for no reason. People you trusted suddenly turn cold, and life begins to feel like one long shadow following you. You try to shake it off. You tell yourself, maybe it's stress, maybe I'm overthinking. But deep down, something inside whispers, no, this isn't normal. It feels as if someone somewhere is pulling invisible strings, as if your energy, your peace, and your light are being drained. You start noticing patterns, random misfortunes that never used to happen. Opportunities vanish right when they're about to bloom. You feel watched, judged, spiritually trapped. Now, before you dismiss this as superstition, understand this. Witchcraft isn't always about potions and dark rituals. Sometimes it's psychological. It's the manipulation of emotion, the weaponization of energy, and the unseen battle between your mind and someone's intention to control it. In Stoic philosophy, Marcus Aurelius once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength." Witchcraft in the Stoic sense is when someone tries to break that power. They use fear, jealousy, guilt, or deceit to make you question yourself, to weaken your inner fortress. Today, I'll reveal the 5 undeniable signs that someone might be doing witchcraft on you. Not just in a mystical sense, but in the psychological and energetic ways that Stoicism helps you see clearly, and more importantly, how to free yourself completely. Because once you understand these signs, no spell, curse, or manipulation can ever control you again. Sign 1. Your energy feels hijacked. It always begins quietly, not with explosions or arguments, but with fatigue that doesn't make sense. You sleep well, yet wake up weary. You eat healthy, yet your body feels heavy. You used to laugh easily, but now it takes effort to even smile. Something unseen feels like it's pressing on your chest. You start losing interest in the things that once lit you up. Music doesn't sound the same. Food doesn't taste the same. You're alive but not living. This, my friend, is often the first sign that someone is pulling on your energy strings. Not through voodoo dolls or potions, but through their intent. You see, in Stoic philosophy, every mind is its own fortress. But when you allow envy, comparison, or emotional dependency to cross, your mental walls you open, the gate for others to walk in and drain your peace. Think of Olivia, a woman from London. She was radiant, passionate about her work, surrounded by friends, full of laughter. Then she met someone who couldn't stand her, like someone who wore a smile but hid envy behind it. Each interaction left her weaker. Subtle remarks like, "You've changed lately," or "You think you're better than us now," chipped at her spirit. She didn't realize it then, but her energy was being siphoned by emotional manipulation disguised as concern. That's what witchcraft really looks like in the modern world. It's psychological. It's when people project their own pain, fear, and envy into your life until you begin to carry it as your own. The Stoics called this emotional contagion. Marcus Aurelius warned that the soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts, but also with the thoughts of those around you. If your peace starts fading after certain conversations or interactions, pay attention. Your body never lies. The Stoic response is not to panic, but to detach. Build what Epictetus called the discipline of assent. That means, before accepting any thought, feeling, or reaction, ask yourself, does this belong to me? When you consciously decide what enters your mind, you become immune to manipulation. The more you practice it, the stronger your energetic boundaries become. Each morning affirm, "No one can disturb my inner peace without my permission." Because once your mind becomes a fortress again, their witchcraft, whether emotional, energetic, or spiritual, loses its power. You stop feeding it. You stop reacting. You rise above. And when you rise above, you reclaim every piece of energy that was ever taken from you. Sign 2. Unexplained bad luck and blocked paths. Ever had a period when everything seemed to fall apart, all at once? You're doing everything right, yet everything goes wrong. Projects collapse. Money slips through your fingers. People betray you. You try to find logic, but the harder you look, the less sense it makes. That's the second sign. When your external world starts mirroring someone else's negative energy toward you. Now, understand this clearly. Stoicism doesn't believe in random misfortune. It believes in cause and perception. Marcus Aurelius said, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." So if things start collapsing, it might not be pure chance. It might be the universe pushing you to see something hidden. Take Daniel from New York, a man with everything going for him, great business, loyal clients, strong ambition. Then one day, after falling out with a manipulative friend, his life began to spiral. Contracts failed. Clients ghosted him. Even technology seemed to work against him. He was being drained, not because of dark rituals, but because of focused negativity. When people wish harm on you, their energy often plants doubt in your subconscious. Doubt leads to hesitation. Hesitation breaks rhythm. And success requires rhythm, consistency, faith, flow. That's how witchcraft operates. It interrupts your flow. But here's the truth, that the curse doesn't come from them. It comes from you believing them. The moment you let their thoughts occupy your mind, you start aligning with their energy. Your focus shifts from creation to fear, from trust to worry. In that mental shift, everything begins to fall apart. The Stoic cure? Radical control of perception. When misfortune strikes, don't ask, "Why is this happening to me?" Ask, "What part of me still fears losing control?" Every obstacle becomes a test of your internal strength. Every setback, an invitation to sharpen your resilience. Daniel eventually realized this. Instead of chasing luck, he started building peace. He meditated, detached, and stopped reacting emotionally to failures. Soon after, the tide turned. Deals reopened, clients returned, and his focus became unshakable. What changed? Not his external world and his energy. Remember this: witchcraft, bad luck, and manipulation only live in the minds that fear them. The Stoic warrior doesn't fight chaos, and he turns it into fuel. Because the moment you stay calm in the storm, you become the storm. Sign 3. People around you suddenly turn cold or hostile. One of the most painful signs someone may be manipulating or cursing your energy is when the people closest to you suddenly change. You haven't done anything wrong, yet you feel people withdrawing. Friends stop calling. Family members misunderstand you. At work, small gossip turns into silent hostility. It feels as if the world is slowly turning against you. That's emotional witchcraft, the invisible poison of perception. You see, words are spells. Every time someone speaks about you with envy or hatred, they project energy into the social web around you. Over time, that energy shifts how others feel about you, even if they don't know why. It's like a virus of emotions spreading from one person to another. Emily from Sydney learned this the hard way. She was admired at her company, loved for her kindness and leadership. But one jealous coworker began whispering things behind her back. She thinks she's better than everyone. She's manipulative. She's fake. Those small sentences repeated quietly built an image that had nothing to do with who Emily really was. Within weeks, colleagues became distant. She started being excluded from projects and lunch invites. Her light was being dimmed, not by truth but by perception. This is how subtle witchcraft spreads, through envy and gossip disguised as opinions. But Stoicism gives us the perfect counterspell: indifference to external opinion. Epictetus taught that our value does not come from what others think, but from how we think about ourselves. So when people turn cold, don't chase, don't beg, don't explain. Calmly observe and remember, if you live according to nature, you will never be poor. If you live according to opinion, you will never be rich. Emily decided to do just that. She stopped defending herself and let her results speak. She focused on her work, kept her composure, and treated everyone with quiet kindness. Eventually, truth revealed itself. Her colleagues' lies were exposed, and her reputation returned stronger than before. Why? Because calm destroys confusion. People can manipulate words, but not peace. Peace exposes deception like sunlight dissolving fog. So if you ever feel surrounded by coldness, and stay still. Let your silence be your armor, because the one who refuses to react emotionally is always the one who wins in the end. Sign 4. You start doubting yourself constantly. The most dangerous kind of witchcraft doesn't come from the outside. It's the one that takes root inside your own mind. You see, when someone truly wants to control or weaken you, they don't attack your body, they attack your certainty. They don't want to destroy your life directly. They want to make you do it for them. And how do they do that? By planting seeds of doubt so deep that you begin to question your every step. You start asking yourself, am I good enough? Did I make the right choice? Maybe I'm the problem. That's how manipulation turns into witchcraft. When your own mind becomes your enemy. Take Michael, a strong man from Toronto. After his breakup, his ex would often say things like, "You'll never find someone who loves you like I did," or "You'll regret leaving me." At first he ignored it. He thought she was just emotional. But over time, those words replayed in his head like a looped recording. He'd meet new women, but every time he felt happy, guilt and doubt would creep in. It wasn't his ex doing spells. It was his mind replaying her voice. That's what emotional witchcraft looks like. When someone's negativity becomes your internal soundtrack, you begin to self-sabotage without realizing it. You stop chasing opportunities. You second-guess your talents. You withdraw from joy because you fear judgment. This is the psychological curse, the erosion of self-trust. Stoic philosophy recognized this centuries ago. Epictetus said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." But here's what most people forget. Your reactions are shaped by your beliefs. If someone convinces you that you're weak, you'll start reacting like a weak person. If someone convinces you that you're unworthy, you'll start making choices that prove them right. That's how curses work, not with rituals, but with repetition. They condition your subconscious until you live as your lowest self. But Stoicism gives you the ultimate counterspell, reason. Reason cuts through illusion like a sword through fog. The next time self-doubt whispers, stop and ask, "Who told me this? Is this thought truly mine? Or was it planted by someone else?" When you ask those questions, you expose the roots of manipulation, because clarity itself is a form of spiritual cleansing. The Stoics trained their minds to be so clear that no outside voice could shake them. They believed that peace was the highest form of strength because a peaceful mind cannot be possessed. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength." To free yourself from this form of witchcraft, you must build a new habit. Talk to yourself the way a Stoic emperor would. When doubt says, "You can't do this," answer calmly, "Then watch me." When fear says, "You'll fail," reply, "Failure is only a lesson." When guilt says, "You're not enough," declare, "I am exactly where I need to be." That inner dialogue rewires your spirit. Each affirmation becomes a wall against manipulation. Each calm breath becomes a shield. Michael learned this over time. He stopped giving power to the voice of his past. He started journaling, reflecting, and practicing Stoic detachment. And soon the very voice that haunted him went silent. Because witchcraft, in its psychological form, feeds on attention. When you stop listening, it starves. So if you've been doubting yourself lately, remember, it's not the world against you. It's your old programming trying to keep control. Rebuild your certainty one decision at a time. Trust yourself again. Because once your mind belongs to you, no one can ever curse it again. Sign 5. Nightmares, restlessness, and a sense of being watched. There's a kind of witchcraft that doesn't attack your mind during the day. It waits until you're most vulnerable, at night. You're lying in bed, the room is quiet, but your body feels uneasy. You sense movement in the stillness. Your dreams become chaotic, dark, unsettling. You wake up with sweat on your forehead and an emotion you can't describe. Fear, sadness, or an invisible pressure. Many people experience this and think they're cursed. But Stoic philosophy teaches that the battlefield is always within. Marcus Aurelius once said, "Today I escaped from anxiety," or no, I discarded it, because it was within me, in my own perceptions, not outside. In other words, what you're fighting at night is often what you refuse to face in daylight. Nightmares are your subconscious, trying to purge energy that you haven't consciously processed. And when someone sends negative energy your way, through hatred, envy, or gossip, that vibration can attach to your emotional field. If you don't clear it, it follows you into your dreams. Let me tell you about Sophia from Manchester. She worked in a competitive office filled with subtle hostility. Every day she came home mentally exhausted, replaying conversations, defending herself in her mind. Soon she started waking up at 3 a.m., heart racing, body trembling, seeing faces in her dreams that felt too real. She thought she was cursed, but in truth, she was simply carrying other people's emotions. The Stoics understood energy cleansing long before it became spiritual talk. They called it catharsis, purification through reflection. At the end of each day, they would sit in silence and review their thoughts. What anger did I carry today? Whom did I judge unfairly? What emotions are not mine to keep? By releasing each emotion with awareness, they kept their spirit light, untouchable. So if you feel watched, haunted, or restless, here's what Stoic cleansing looks like. Each night before bed, sit in darkness and breathe deeply. Say to yourself, I release all energy that is not mine. I forgive all that tried to harm me. I reclaim my peace. Don't do it as a ritual, do it as a declaration of power. Because once your mind recognizes that no external energy can dominate it, the fear vanishes, the nightmares fade, the pressure lifts. You stop being haunted because you stop being afraid. And fear, as Stoicism teaches, is the only real demon that exists. Marcus Aurelius faced wars, betrayal, and death, yet he wrote, "Do not be overheard complaining, not even to yourself." Why? Because complaining gives power to the very thing you fear. When you face darkness with calm indifference, it shrinks. Sophia began practicing this nightly ritual, not as a superstition, but as self-discipline. Within weeks, her nightmares disappeared. She slept like a child again, because she finally stopped carrying other people's chaos. The Stoic secret is this: you are not watched. You are witnessed by your own consciousness. And consciousness, once awake, cannot be cursed. So if darkness has been visiting your dreams, smile. It only means your soul is clearing what no longer belongs there. Thank it, release it. And remember, no witch, no spell, no curse can touch a mind anchored in reason and calm. Because when your mind is still, you become invisible to negativity and invincible to fear. Conclusion. So let's recap. Witchcraft isn't always about black candles or spells whispered in the dark. It's the art of stealing someone's power through fear, manipulation, envy, or emotional control. But Stoicism gives us the shield that nothing and no one can pierce. When you feel your energy being hijacked, detach. When bad luck surrounds you, stay rational and unshaken. When people turn cold, don't chase approval. When doubt fills your mind, return to your reason. And when fear creeps in at night, silence it with awareness. Because the truth is this: no one can curse a mind that refuses to be controlled. No one can bind a soul that understands its own power. The Stoics faced emperors, wars, betrayal, and death, yet they remained unbroken, because they understood that real witchcraft isn't in spells, it's in surrendering your peace to others. So if you feel someone is trying to manipulate or curse you, don't fight with anger. Don't drown in fear. Simply stand still in your strength. Observe, detach, reclaim your focus. That calm, that quiet, that unwavering center is your protection, your liberation, and your light. You are not cursed. You are simply being tested to remember who you truly are. And the moment you realize that, you become untouchable. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.